So now the first order of business, is to set up the tent and the bedding within the tent. Then second will be gathering of firewood, and third, setting up the creature comforts. So we're going to do all of that right now. So this is the site that I came into, and I came down this road right here. It was barely a road, actually. It's a Jeep path, and I drove it over this way, and then pre-existing fire ring. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to like kind of virtually make it smaller because of the supply of wood we have here. I didn't bring any wood, so my wood that I find is going to be much smaller. So I'm going to be wanting to move this rock right here into there, kind of like collapse it a little bit, make it smaller. The sun just came out. There. I scouted out this site over a week ago. It was Monday of last week, and I needed to find a nice level spot for the backpacking tent. So I came to the conclusion that it would probably have to be like right about here. This was where I drove the Jeep, right through here. So what I have to do first, is that I'm going to have to clean this up a little bit, get larger rocks, and just kind of like toss them to the side with my feet. Well, I've laid out my backpacking tent, staked out all the corners here, and now what I have to do now is raise it up. So here's the raised backpacking tent. Has like, it's all mesh around here with these doorways you can get in. They've got zippers. So what's next to do is the rain fly. So here is what the rain fly on the little backpacking tent. I've got it rolled up on one side for egress into the tent to start loading in the bedding now. Well, I'm getting the bedding ready. The self-inflating pad takes a while, so I thought while we wait for that, we'll go ahead and start collecting our firewood. Bunch of this stuff right here. So there's a nice little bundle right there. Okay, I had to recharge the camera up, so I couldn't have it going on while I was doing this bedding. But so now I got the sleeping bag in there on top of the self-inflating sleeping pad, and I got a little backpacking pillow. One end of the pad has a blow-up pillow too, but I'll probably have to put like my coat or something like that in there too tonight to get a nice high loft pillow going on here, and put in some of the things that I'll be needing for the night in here, like my spare clothes and the canteen of hot water for the hot water bottle during the middle of the night. And I also had to go on ahead and collect up my firewood here. So here's the little tinder right here, and here's some kindling, larger sticks, and here's some firewood. I still need to process this stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I need to chop these up into smaller pieces. Smaller pieces here, crumple that up. So I got my water boiling now with the little 1-burner propane tank, and there's the blue cup with the tea bag in it waiting. Now just wait for this to boil up. The water's boiling up now, so turn that off. Hot. Ow. Forgot to wear my gloves with this cup here. Woo. There we go. Let that go for about 5 minutes. Well, here's my hot tea. Just put some sugar in there just now. Here's the first sip. Hope it tastes good. That's really good. That deserves another sip. Very, very good. I'm gonna have to eat my dinner now. I've got that all set up right now, and here it is. I've put it out over there. It's on the left there. That's my chili macaroni there, and here's my little dessert. It's the freeze-dried ice cream bar. Now, I don't know how that's going to go, but we'll give it a try. So I just now boiled up my water for the chili macaroni and beef, so I'm going to turn this propane off and pour. Ooh, that's hot. Had to go get one of my gloves here. So pour this into it. And then seal it up real good. And I'm going to shake it around in there to make sure he gets really. This bag is hot too. Whoa, he is really hot. Okay. Just going to leave him there for about 30 minutes. Well, it's time for starting the fire. It's starting to chill down here, so I had to put on a hat, and I put another layer on that I arrived in. So I'm going to use this flint steel right here, and I'm going to try to get some sparks in there to get this fire going. There we go. So I'm hoping that it lights up the rest of the little tinder there. Looks like it did. Start piling on little pieces of wood here on top of it. Hear it crackle now. Now it's time for some bigger pieces. Let that burn for a while. So there it's going. So I'm just going to let it burn for a while here before I mess with it any further. Still waiting on my chili macaroni and beef to get done. It's like another 10 minutes or so. Well, this should be done now, so I'm going to open it up and smells good. Give it a good stir here all around. Apologize for the silence. I'm just trying to make sure I get it all. Okay, let me give it a little bit of a taste now. Not very spicy. Kind of bland actually, but it is protein, so guess I'll eat it. Well, I tried to eat that chili macaroni and beef, and I just couldn't finish it. It just wasn't tasting good to me at all. I've had the other brand a few times, so I'm going to switch back to that. I only chose this brand because it was slightly cheaper, but now I've learned my lesson. So I'm going to go back to the other brand. Now, for dessert, is one of these freeze-dried ice cream bars. Now I've seen one other person on YouTube, he's a backpacker, try this. So I'm going to give it a try here. Doesn't require any kind of prep or anything. And it comes in this little wrapper. And it looks like an ice cream sandwich. Yeah. There. It really does. Let me give it a try. That is good, actually. You have to pretend it's ice cream in there. But, you see, yeah, it was an ice cream sandwich at one time. Okay, I'm going to eat this. I'm going to get back to you later. I went out and got some more wood. It wasn't very much, but it's hooked up the fire again here, so I only have a couple more pieces I can throw on there. But I got one big piece in there now that's going to take a while, so hopefully that will nurse it along. So there it's going again. It's going on 6:30, so I was hoping to stay out here till at least until 7 before I went in and turned in for the night. Just because, you know, when you're kind of like backpacking or jeep packing in this case, there isn't really much else to do. So I'm just going to sit out here by the fire for as long as it lasts. Well, I'm in my tent now, getting ready to settle down for the evening. I just have to get out of my clothes and change into clean, dry ones, and then snuggle up into my sleeping bag here. I'll go to bed for the night. It's about 10 degrees warmer in here than it is outside. It's about 64, 65 degrees in here. And when I came into the tent earlier in the evening, it was around 54 outside. And I put my blue hot water bottle at the foot of the sleeping bag, and that's working out pretty well. So I'm wondering just how long it's going to stay warm. I hope it stays warmer inside of the sleeping bag than it does like out in the open when I was testing it a few days ago in my kitchen countertop. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it in for the night. This is the end of the day for Sam's Jeep packing. Good morning. It's almost 7:30 in the morning, and I don't know if you can hear it, but it's raining outside now. I was scheduled to get up around 8. Didn't really sleep all that great in here during the night, especially about the first half of it. Second half of it, I slept more like a couple hours at a time. Earlier, it was only like about an hour at a time. The sleeping pad here is, yeah, it's just not cutting it anymore. It's just not thick enough. And the sleeping bag, yeah, it's too thin. Its lofting capability is gone after being compressed in a sack for years at a time. So I may have to get like another one of those too. So, but the tent, you know, is appears to be holding up all right though. So I'm just gonna sit in here for a while and hope the rain stops in the next half hour or so. Up now for about half an hour outside, and I got most of the stuff I need to get squared away in the tent there. So all that's left in there is the sleeping bag and the sleeping pad. So I've got everything else kind of put away into the Jeep, and there's on the table that the camera and the tripod are sitting on. And I'm just waiting for my water to boil for my coffee, and I've already put some water into this granola with milk and blueberries here. So once I get the coffee in my cup here, and I'll start digging into my cereal. I made my coffee, and I'm now eating on my granola, and this is better than last night's meal by far. I should have had this for dinner last night. It's really good. Time to get warmed up with some coffee here. That's good. It's instant coffee, but it's great. Tastes good. Any coffee's good on a cold morning. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my breakfast and my coffee. Get back to you in a few minutes. Well, I just got done eating my granola. It says 2 servings, but I could eat more of that this morning. I still got a little bit of my coffee left. I said on the video yesterday that I wanted to demonstrate my my little Bluetooth speaker. I don't know if you can hear it because I got my music on right now, but I'm playing it from this older phone here, and I think that's like the default Google music player. And the speaker is right here, so you can hear it. Puts out a big sound. It's a rechargeable battery. It didn't last too long last night when I was playing it outside, so I had to recharge it overnight. So hope it goes long enough for me to pack up everything here. The sun's starting to come out now a little bit, but there's a bank of clouds that may be blocking its warmth. So while I drink up the rest of my coffee, I'm going to kind of like start putting some more stuff away here. All good things must come to an end, so I've already put away quite a few things. And there's the tent now, flat, unstaked. All I gotta do is fold it up and roll it up. And I gotta put away these things still. And the sun is rising in the east. It's above the mountains here. But it's cloudy. It started drizzling a little bit earlier, so I had to put away the rain fly inside the Jeep behind the tent pad, so I'll have to like unroll that at home and dry it out. I was going to fold this up properly, but now I can't do that knowing that I have to put the rain fly and roll up with it, so I'm just going to like fold that up loosely and put it in the back of the Jeep as well. Well, everything's all packed away now. This concludes the inaugural edition of Sam's Jeep Packing. May all your Jeep packing trips be safe and fun. Goodbye.